Unit 14 is all about quadratic functions and how they look on the graph and how we can move them and make them have a max, make them have a min, make them narrow, make them wider. We have been working with quadratic functions actually since Unit 12 when we factored. And you'll notice that this is the ax squared plus bx plus c. And in Unit 12 you factored these, and then in Unit 13 you solved them. Now we're going to graph them. So when you factored them, you had two parentheses, and then when you solved them, you set them equal to 0. You were actually finding the x-intercepts, and those are called solutions. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to graph them. Remember that if you have a graph like this, that is an absolute value graph. Y equals the absolute value of x. Okay? If you have a x squared, then it's going to be a parabola. And a parabola is a U-shaped. It also is symmetrical, so whatever happens on this side actually happens on this side, and this is called the axis of symmetry. So there's a couple of points that you need to pay attention to as you travel along graphing quadratic functions. You're going to need to know how to find the axis of symmetry. You're going to have to find the solutions. And there are either 0, 1, or 2 solutions. Okay? And then you're going to have to find the y-intercept. And lastly, the vertex. You're also going to have to tell me whether it's a minimum or a maximum. And you're going to have to tell me whether it is right or left. Yes, we can move them again. We can also move them up and down. So we're going to introduce a couple of these topics each time. So this is a minimum because it looks like a bowl and you could fill stuff up, and there's a minimum. If it looks like a mountain, it has a maximum, still has an axis of symmetry, still has solutions, still has a y-intercept, still has a vertex. So for each equation, you're going to find the axis of symmetry, you're going to find the vertex, and you're going to graph it, and you're going to kind of sketch it. So if I have x squared minus 4x plus 5, you already know that this is A, this is B, and this is C. And to find the axis of symmetry, there is a formula opposite of B over 2A. So opposite of B over 2a, which is 4 over 2, which is 2. Okay? This I know that is going, it's a U. Okay? The axis of symmetry is a vertical line. Okay? So when I have this, I'm going to say my equation is x equals 2. So if I had here, if I had a graph, I would go to here and I would know that it is, the axis of symmetry is along here. I also know already that it is it has a minimum. Now to find the vertex, and so if I'm going to find the vertex, I'm going to substitute x in to my equation to find my y value. So I'm going to say y equals 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 5. Notice I'm putting these in parentheses. It will save me. That habit will save me on some answers. 4 minus 8 plus 5. Y equals 1. So my vertex is actually at 2, 1. So 2, 1. Okay. And I know that it would look like a U. So when we're doing graphing quadratics, you are going to have to find the axis of symmetry. That's on the star chart, so you don't have to memorize it. And then to find the specific vertex, when you do this part, it gives you the line of axis of symmetry. Then you plug in your x value into your original equation. It gives you your y value, which gives you the specific point of either the max or the min. That is page 1 of Graphing Quadratic Functions.